So take Sirach 15th chapter from 14th verse. It was He, God, who created humankind in the beginning, and He left them in the power of their own free choice. If you choose, you can keep the commandments, and to act faithfully is a matter of your own choice. 16th verse. He has placed before you fire and water. Stretch out your hand for whichever you choose. 17th verse. Before each person are life and death, and whichever one chooses will be given. See, this is the principle of ask and receive. If I choose, I will be given. For this purpose, God cannot impose good on us. See, He cannot impose it. I have to choose good. He cannot make us choose good. He should not, at least. Therefore, this is something different. Which one? The charismatic renewal. The miracles which we find in charismatic renewal. Charismatic renewal, lot of miracles take place, but they are false miracles. They are false miracles in the sense they don't lead us to salvation. So, if I go to the Eucharist, there I receive only cross, suffering. And only if I go to charismatic renewal, I will receive miracles. Miracles will take place to take away the cross from me. That's what is happening. Why miracles are taking place there? That's what we'll see later in this thing. Now, we'll continue. So, when somebody comes and believes in the Eucharistic Lord, this Eucharistic Lord should be in a form of a food that looks very simple to the eye, a perspective of the world. To the world, it should look as if it is an ordinary food. Therefore, this term banquet refers to the feast spoken in 6th chapter, 53rd verse in John, or in John's Gospel, which shows Christ's flesh as true food and His blood as true drink. The term food refers to the Eucharistic Lord, who appears under the form of bread, rather than presenting Jesus' flesh in its physical appearance. The parable portrays it as the food prepared for the banquet as something of no worldly value. So this is mentioned as worthless delicacy or worthless food. The food as the Eucharist should be worthless, or it should seem worthless. Actually, the phrase the food of the banquet signifies a covenant meal, a participation in the covenant relationship that God offers. That meal is not an ordinary meal, it is a covenant meal for participation in the covenant relationship that God offers. The statement, one should not come merely for the meal, indicates that participation should not be motivated solely by natural or earthly concern. Earthly concern means the things of this world, is what is said in Romans 8 chapter 5th verse, which says, for those who live according to the flesh set their minds on the things of the flesh, but those who live according to the Spirit set their minds on the things of the Spirit. To set the mind on the flesh is death. This is what is said there. This is what you should note here. To set the mind on the things of the flesh is death. But to set the mind on the Spirit is life and peace. And for this reason, the mind that is set on the flesh is hostile to God. It is written there. If your mind is set on the things of the flesh, then that mind is hostile to God, is enemy of God. So if you don't want to be enemy of God, what should I do? I should not seek miracles in charismatic renewals. I should not go after that. As soon as I start searching for miracles and wondrous things and all there, which they call as charismas, that is not what God wants you to do. He takes it as something, as an act which is done against Him. So it becomes hostile to God. Note that this thing is about going to Mass. That is, going to Mass for praying for the things of the flesh. See, when we go to Mass, if we go with intention for the things of the flesh, then it is something hostile to God. When we go to Mass, we should go there to seek filial adoption. We go for the things of the flesh, then you set your minds on the things of the flesh, which is death. For this reason, the mind that is set on the flesh is hostile to God. It does not submit to God's law. See, law. God's law. It's written there in Romans 8 chapter, 7th verse or 8th verse. This law is what we see as righteousness in Romans 10:3, 10th chapter, 3rd verse. We already saw submitting ourselves to God's righteousness. This righteousness is also translated as law. Righteousness is translated as law here. This means that not submitting to God's righteousness will not please God, is what is said here. So, this seeking things of the flesh is an act of not submitting to God's righteousness. So, it will not please God. So, it will become hostile to God, against a thing against God. This means that not submitting to God's righteousness will not please God, is what is said here. Indeed, it cannot, is also said. It cannot please God. Therefore, those who are in the flesh cannot please God. That's why if we go to Mass, we should go to ask for this filial adoption. That is what you should learn from here. One should not come merely for the meal. This term indicates that participation should not be motivated solely by the things of the flesh. Rather, one should come seeking communion with God and seeking the covenant relationship with Him He offers. That is filial adoption. This is what God sees. That's what through the parable we should understand. That is why He is giving us this banquet. It is for the purpose of finding out who honors Him, God, and who honors the flesh or the things of the world. See, God has arranged this system of going to Mass daily or making this new covenant to find out who really loves Him. He wants to find out whether we honor God or whether we honor the things of this world or the flesh. So, for this only, he says in 2 Thessalonians 2nd chapter 11th verse, for this reason God sends them a powerful delusion, leading them to believe what is false. See, charismatic renewal is a delusion, a powerful delusion sent by God. Charismatic renewal has been sent by God into the Catholic Church. See, the Catholic Church is infallible, but why did charismatic renewal come into this Catholic Church if it is infallible? How could a fallible renewal come into this church? Because God wants a powerful delusion so that all those who did not believe in the truth are made to believe in what is false. See? So that all who did not believe in the truth.